Další dotaz směřuje na Evana. Vy jste také dosáhli historického úspěchu, stejně jako Boris, a to v tom, že před vámi, předtím, když Spojené státy přijaly manželství pro všechny, mnoho zemí ho mezi tím přijal, ale Spojené státy představují milník v tom boji za manželství pro všechny celosvětově. Už tím, že mají velkou kulturní váhu, i ekonomickou. Tedy díky vám se toho 26. června 2015 lidé probudili, 300 milionů lidí se probudilo do světa, kde najednou se lidé mohou brát bez ohledu na to, koho milují. Ale nebyla to určitě jednoduchá cesta. Proveďte nám trošku tou cestou. Jaké byly ty hlavní milníky na té vaší cestě?
Thank you, Děkuji. Well, let me start by saying it is wonderful to be back in the Czech Republic, such a lovely place and a lovely weather, to be able to share the stage with so many elected officials. I feel kind of lazy that I never got elected to anything. And to be here at a time when the Czech Republic is really on the verge of being able to take an important step toward bringing people together, bringing the country forward, and upholding the values that this country believes in. It's a real honor to be in this room at this important moment with action available for us. When I started working for the Freedom to Marry back in my hair days, there was no place in the world where same-sex couples could marry. And in fact, in my own country, gay people were still considered criminals, were still considered immoral, were still considered a threat, leading lives of loneliness. These were the ideas that people had. But through decades of conversation and courage and living our lives, and allies coming forward, and people being willing to open their hearts and think anew, led often, as Senator Adamek said, by young people who talked about their experiences and their hopes for a society, people's hearts and minds changed. And so whereas when we started, there were 0 places in the world where same-sex couples could share in the love and commitment and protection and participation in society through marriage, today we now have 28 countries on every continent, including Antarctica. We now have more than 1.1 billion people in the world who live in a freedom to marry country. And the people of the Czech Republic deserve no less. The reason this change has happened is because the truth came out. It's because people did the work. It's because political leaders were willing to listen and to act, not just to talk or to hide. And as we have in country after country after country moved this conversation forward, what we have seen is that families have been helped and no one is hurt. None of the bad things that the opponents said would happen have happened. In fact, only good things have happened. In the United States, for example, more than 1 million gay people have gotten legally married. We did not use up all the marriage licenses. There is still marriage for others. And the more people who are sharing in the freedom to marry, the better off the economy, the community, the families, and the country has proven to be. There was battle after battle to make this happen. Some of those battles took place in courts. Some of those battles took place in legislatures. Some of those battles took place at the ballot box in elections. There were many defeats and delays and losses along the way. But we kept working because we knew that if we brought this truth to enough people over enough time, that enough good people would step forward and open their heart and change. And that is what happened. That is what's happening now in so many other countries around the world. And I look forward to seeing, hopefully quite soon, the day when the Czech Republic stands with the countries that have been willing to move forward and say to its citizens, everybody here belongs. Everybody here deserves to dream of a life with other people, somebody you care about, a family. Everybody here deserves to contribute. Everybody here deserves to have what everybody else has. This is the message we conveyed to the American people, and we went from 27% support when I won the world's first ever court ruling in favor of the freedom to marry. We were at 27%. But through this truth, and through the work, and through leadership, and through sticking with the work, we grew that support to 63% in 2015 when we stood in front of the Supreme Court. The good news for the Czech Republic, you already are at the level of 60-some support amongst the Czech people who have seen this around the world and who have the values of fairness and inclusion and respect and equality and dignity. Now it's time for the elected officials to do what the people rightly demand and what justice demands, and affirm love here in this beautiful country.
Thank you.